But did you know winter's also a great time to exercise and play sports, whether it's skiing, snowboarding, or maybe indoor sports like basketball, racquetball? Here to talk about how to do that safely is Dr. Shane Hudnall. He is a sports medicine specialist at Cone Health Sports Medicine Med Center at High Point, and he's a member of the group Cone Health Medical Group. Good morning.
Good morning, Cindy. Good to be here.
To say.
I know, sorry.
It's all good. You earned it all, though. So let's talk about exercising when it's really, really cold outside, like today. First of all there are precautions that you need to take when you go out and want to run or do whatever in this type of weather.
Yeah, and the precautions, I like to separate them into two different categories.
Okay.
So you have your doesn't matter the season kind of precautions, like make sure you don't exercise alone in case, even if you're out skiing or even running by yourself, that if something happens to you, that someone can call for help. Things like make sure you wear sunblock, even in the winter, that's still important. Staying hydrated, warming up before you're stretching. And then you have the cold weather precautions. Check the weather, like Emily was talking about. If it's going to be really cold outside or really windy, maybe move indoors and exercise indoors. If it's below freezing, watch out for slippery spots on sidewalks, because we see a lot of fractures this time of year too with people falling. And make sure you dress in layers. So as you're running or doing whatever exercise you're doing, you can peel off layers as you're generating heat.
Good idea. Good idea. You know, when the air is so cold and you're breathing it in, sometimes, you know, it can almost be a shock to the system.
Yeah, and that's why it's important if you have other medical conditions like asthma. I mean, that's a common trigger for asthma. Check with your doctor, make sure it's okay. Any precautions you need to take. Do you need to take your inhaler before you go out? Is it better for you to exercise indoors? Things like that.
Is there a time when you may not want to go outside and exercise?
Well, it really depends. I mean, there's no set, if it's this temperature, don't go out. I'd say if it's rainy or snowing outside, you have to be really careful because if you're not wearing something that's waterproof, we know that water, if you get wet, you tend to lose heat at a 2 to 5 times higher rate if you're wet, and that's important for things like frostbite and hypothermia. When you're treating those, when you come indoors, the first thing you want to do is take off something that's wet and start warming up.
So how do you know if you're getting close to say hypothermia or, you know, even frostbite, because it can happen this time of year?
Yeah, and that's right. And again, as the temperature drops, you're more likely to get that and everything. So for frostbite, we've all experienced maybe the very, very, very early signs of that, where you get numbness that then turns into pain. That's why even if you're outside shoveling snow or something, take breaks. You know, take breaks every 5-10 minutes or something if you notice that come inside. With hypothermia, just realize that shivering is basically your body's last sign that, hey, I need to warm up here. So if you notice that, also come inside. What
about warming up? You talked about warming up. How important is it to stretch those muscles and warm up and get your body ready to exercise?
Well, it's very important, and we think that you need that little bit of warm up, 5-10 minutes before you stretch, because then you know, if you stretch cold, we say, if you just go straight into stretching, you could have an increased risk of injury there. So just be careful about that.
All right, good information there. You can learn more about how to protect yourself from injuries while you're playing sports in the winter by checking out conehealth.com/sportsmedicine. And for more healthy lifestyle tools and resources, and also a calendar of upcoming classes, go to conehealth.com/wellness-matters.
House Call on Fox 8 is sponsored by Cone Health.